Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ride 2. I'm KPG-GOONER here, and in today's video guys we're going to be testing out another two bikes from the Rising Sun Bikes pack, and we're going to be putting them against each other in an event at the end of the video. Now both these bikes are 750s, both from roughly around the same era. I think this one's from 96, the other one's from 98, and we're going to see which one comes out on top. Now there is a massive difference in performance points and stats when they're fully upgraded, but we will see which one comes out on top. So the first one we're going to be testing out is the Kawasaki YZF-R7 from 1996 in a couple of events, and then we're going to be doing that special trial. So we'll just see what this bike's like once it's fully maxed out. So let's check that out now. So here we go. Right guys, looking at the stats, it's pretty average. It only takes up to 562 performance points, but it's still got around 150 brake horsepower, so we'll see what it's like. But we're just going to have a quick look at the bike that it's going up against, so we're going to get into that now. So here we go. Right guys, so this is the bike it's going up against in a special event at the end of the video, the Yamaha YZF-R7. Now it's got more performance points, even though the other one was fully maxed out. It's really interesting to see how these two go up against. They're both 750s, but we're going to max this one out as well. So we're on a level playing field. We're going to do a couple of events on the Kawasaki first, just to see what it's like. We will do some events on this one in a future video, but I want to do a trial at the end of the video because these videos seem to be really popular versus videos. So let's get straight into what it's like maxed out. So here we go. So fully maxed out, it takes it up to 720 performance points, and look at the stats, they're pretty damn decent for a 750. So I'm thinking this one is going to be pretty hard to beat in the trial at the end of the video, but we will see. Let's get into the first event on the Kawasaki and see what that one's like. So here we go. Right, so we're going to test out the Kawasaki in a race first, and then we're going to do a point-to-point race, and then we're going to do that special event against the R7 at the end of the video, which I'm really looking forward to doing. So let's see what this is like. So we're not going to adjust any of the settings of the bike. We're going to turn everything off. Yeah, should be okay with that anti-wheelie off. So let's get straight into a race and see what it's like. Right, so let's see what this bike's like in a race. Now the stats were pretty average, so nothing's going to stand out on this bike, but hopefully it will handle okay. Let's see if we can get a good start. Now we're against quite a few other 750s, and that's not a bad start. Oh god, the acceleration isn't too bad on this Kawasaki. Let's just try and stick behind the bike in front. So that's a Yamaha in front. Let's see if we can just keep up with that. It's nice through there. Doesn't feel too bad into the first couple of turns. I don't think the braking is that great on this bike. We've got a bike sitting right behind us, but we just want to get a little bit of a feel of this bike. We will test the R7 in a couple of races in another video, but we just want to see what it's like against this one in a special event that I've set up at the end of the video, and just see what they're like against each other. But like I said, the performance points there's a massive difference. This one is a hell of a lot lower, but that doesn't always mean that it's going to be come second best in the trial, as I found on quite a few other bikes. I might be wrong, but we will find out. So let's see if we can get a nice line through that corner. We're struggling to keep up with the bike in front, but I'm sure we've got quite a few laps to try and just settle into this race. It feels pretty good into the turns, try and stay off the curbs. Now we've got that anti-cheating system. If you go off, it does tell you you've got an invalid lap. So we're going to try and avoid doing that. It just cleans up your driving. I know it's mainly for time trials, but it does make you want to be a little bit cleaner in races so you don't get it, and that's not too bad through there. So far so good. So we're totally killing the field behind us. So it's just a two-horse race here, and let's just try and stick with this bike in front and see if we can just take an opportunity in the pass. It's feeling pretty good in its first experience. It was actually what I was expecting. Now, like I said, I've done a little bit of research on both bikes. I do get really interested in bikes that I don't know a lot about. I mean, the R7 is a bike that I haven't seen a lot, to be honest, over the years since one of my first bikes, I had a Yamaha TZR125, so I was quite into Yamahas when I was younger. I remember the R6 coming out, but I don't ever remember seeing many R7s. It's quite a rare bike, but I did see a lot of the Kawasaki ZX-7RR. I think it was quite a decent bike and quite popular, so I've seen a couple around as well. So let's see if we can just hold that. We've been nice and smooth, so we've managed to take the lead. So we're actually, this bike is very good. Even on the standard settings, it's feeling pretty damn smooth. I don't think it's the quickest, but the stats are holding up and it's feeling pretty good. Oh god, that front wheel wanted to go up there. Let's just keep that nice and smooth. This backed off. See, it was actually quite good under that. You know, I didn't completely lose it. It feels very, very stable, which is a very good sign, because even when it doesn't feel perfect, you know that with a few tweaks you can make this bike handle like a dream, and at the moment it's not too bad. Let's just try and control it into that corner, not make any mistakes, and again it's got into there nice and smooth, and that is absolutely brilliant. So we've managed just to pull away from the bike behind us, and I'm actually liking this Kawasaki. It feels very, very good. Let's try and get a nice line into here, keep it nice and smooth again and again. So we're doing absolutely amazing on this bike, so this is a good start. Now the point-to-point race that we're going to be testing it out in the next event is I think Sector 1 of the Nordschleife in the rain. Now I've just thought that would be a good one just to test this bike out under extreme conditions and see what it's like in that. You never know, it might struggle, but until we test it out. Oh god, just went over the green section there and it's given me an invalid lap, so you can't do that. Now I used to do that quite a lot, get nice and tight in there to keep it to get a nice speed through there, but obviously you can't do that and it's given me that warning, so I've got to make sure I don't do that next time so we can get that lap time. So we did a 151, that's not the quickest, but we are only on this 750. Hold it over there so you can go over that section. Didn't get a warning that time, and we're holding the lead pretty easy in this race. Now this bike is absolutely bossing this race in this 750 tour, which is absolutely brilliant, but I couldn't use the R7 in this tour because the performance points, it's too high. Now I think what I'm going to have to do when I do some events on it, if you want to see that guys, I'm going to have to lower the performance points to get it in some races, because I think at the performance points I would have to go into events against 1000cc's, and I just don't think the R7 is going to cope in those sort of races. But then you don't know. I'm just going to have to, I might set that up. If you want to see that, just let me know in the comments guys if you want to see the R7 in a couple of races and not just in this special event I'm going to be doing at the end of the video. But we have got a couple of more bikes to try out from this bikes pack. Then don't forget guys, I think on the 18th of this month we've got a free bike pack coming out as well. I'm not sure what bikes are in that pack, but it's something to look forward to, and that's nice through there. Just caught the curb slightly, it wasn't as smooth, but I'm keeping it nice and tidy. Hopefully we can get a perfect lap without an invalid sign coming up. Let's try and keep it nice and clean through here, slow it down slightly quicker than the previous lap, which is good. Let's keep a nice line. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't believe I haven't adjusted this bike and it just feels really, really good. Right, let's just get a nice line through here, stay off the green section this time and get to the finish line. And should we beat that time? Can we get an under that time? Yes, we do. So we did a 150.2, which is pretty damn decent for this bike, and that is the victory in the first event. And I like this Kawasaki. I really, really do. Now, I must admit, most of the Kawasaki's I've tried out in this game, in this category, the 1000cc's, the 600s, all got lower, not very good stats, but they still handle so goddamn well. I cannot believe it. Right, let's test it out in this point-to-point race, see if it's good in that, and then we will do that special trial at the end of the video. So let's get straight into it. So here we go. Right guys, so here we go with this point-to-point race on the Nordschleife Sector 1. Now I have made an adjustment to the gearing. I've put it up to 6 to give me a greater top end. I haven't adjusted any of the suspension as I felt it was really good in the last event. And let's see if we can win this. It's not going to be easy because you've got to try and get to the front. Let's try and get some slipstream. So we're in the wet as well, so I'm not sure how this is going to handle in the wet. Hopefully it's going to be okay. So two bikes have bombed off. Let's try and get in their slipstream. Oh, that's working really, really well. So I put it on the higher gear ratio just to give me a greater top end, and that should help us. Yes, we've managed to power past. Now sometimes I've left it just on the normal gearing and I cannot get anywhere near the two bikes in front in these sectors because it's only very short, so you've got to try and gain that lead from the start and then try and hold on to it. So let's try and slow it down through here. I'm not sure what it's going to be like in the wet. Just try and be good on the brakes, slow it down, oh god, that was really, really close, but managed to turn it in. Again, it's feeling pretty damn good into the corners. Let's be careful around there, keep it off the grass. Yes, we managed to keep it off the grass and we've accelerated away. Now we still haven't got anti-wheelie on, so we're on the same settings that we were in the previous event as well, so we're keeping it all the same, and we're going to just push it to the max now. We've just got to try and stay in the lead if we can. We've got 2 bikes sitting right behind us that might be slightly better around these sort of challenges, but we will try our best just to hold on to it. Let's try and keep it nice and tight, slow it down, keep it nice, flip it over. Feeling okay, it's under steering. I'm fighting with it a little bit into these tough turns, but it's not too bad. I'm sure we should be able to manage it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Right, the bike's sitting right behind me now, so we've got to be careful it doesn't try and dive up the inside. Slow it down, stay off the curb, and we've managed just to hold it. No, onto the grass, but we've managed just to hold it, so we've got an invalid record, but we're not here for a lap time. We're here to win the race, and we've lost our place by going on the grass, but I think they went on the grass as well. That is quite a difficult turn to go through without a setup, and we've just got to try and hold it through here. Now we're going to have to go max power over this section. We're going to get a bit of air as well here. I'm going to see what it's like when we go over the jump. Hopefully it should be okay, even though we haven't adjusted the suspension, so we're going up to almost full speed, 160 miles an hour. Here we go, it's going to go up. Oh god, that didn't feel too bad. It didn't go too high. That was all okay. Let's just try and control it, slow it down, keep it nice and tight. Oh, we got an opportunity to maybe get up the inside here, can we? Oh god, that's a slip past him. We made a slight bit of contact, but I don't care. We've managed to get past him without knocking him out, and we should get to the end. Yes, we take a victory. Oh, I'll take that all day long. Now the AI would do that to you if you gave them the opportunity to go up the inside, so I take that all day long. Now that bike is pretty damn good. I must admit, I do like it. It feels, without any adjustments, it feels so solid, even in the wet. Right guys, we're going to get into this special challenge that we're doing against the R7. Which one's going to come out on top? Let's find out. So here we go, guys. Right guys, so here we go with this test, putting the R7 against the ZX-7RR in a time trial. Now I'm going to do one lap on the R7 around Donington and see what I get without making any adjustments. Then I'm going to make a few adjustments and do a few more laps, and we'll see what time we can get. And then we're going to do the same on the ZX-7RR, and we're going to see which one comes out on top. Now there's a massive difference in performance points and the stats, but does that mean the R7 is going to come out on top? That's what we want to find out, and that's what we're going to be doing more on the channel, pushing bikes against each other and seeing which ones come out on top. Now this bike doesn't feel too bad at the moment. Without making the adjustments, it's slightly understeering. It felt a little bit unstable through there. The back end pulled around, but it's not doing too bad. We just want to see what sort of time this can do without making the adjustments. Then we're going to do a few more laps with adjustments and see what sort of time we can get. Now none of these times are going to be world record times. It's all about just testing these two bikes against each other, because there is a massive difference in their ratings, and you just like to see which is the better bike on the game. Now I don't think the performance points always shows which one is the better bike. I mean, you always go for the highest performance points, but it doesn't always work out that way on this game. That's what I'm starting to find out. So we're coming towards the end here. That wasn't really smooth in there. Really had to be careful opening the throttle there, but then we're getting to the finish line. Let's see what sort of time we're going to get on this first experience. So we got a 1:11. That's not the greatest, but I'll take it for a first lap. Right, so that's our first lap, testing out the R7. It wasn't too bad, but we're going to make a few adjustments to it now, guys, and just see if we can just improve that time before we take the Kawasaki ZX-7RR and see if it can beat it, although it's a lower rated bike. So let's get straight into some more laps. All going into that corner. Hold it, hold it. We're really trying to push this now. We've made quite a few adjustments to it now. I think we're on our 4th or 5th lap, hoping to better the time. Oh god, really taking a risk there. It's still really difficult to change direction on this bike. I'm still getting a little bit of a reaction at the back of the bike into those sort of corners as well, but I'm trying my best to push this bike to the max. Like I said, it's probably not going to be the fastest times, and you probably could do a little bit better, but I just wanted to do a quick trial, a few laps, and to see which one's better. So we are up on the time. I'm hoping this to be my fastest lap. Let's try and hold it. It's nice and tight into there. Still feeling a little bit unstable, but it's much quicker than our previous lap, so I will take it. Right, we're coming to the end of this lap. Hopefully we're going to nail down a decent time. Right, let's slow it down. We're definitely up on our last lap, which is brilliant. Nice and smooth. Keep that front wheel down. Now we've got all the aids turned off as well, just to give it the maximum difficulty. Right to the line, and there we go. So that's our fastest time so far. So we've done it in a 1:10.0. Was it 050? I think it was. Let's just get the... Yes, so it was 1 minute and 10 seconds, .050. So that is our fastest time after quite a few laps. And I think we are going to jump in and check out what the Kawasaki can do. Now, it shouldn't get anywhere near that time. So we did 5 laps, guys, on that bike. And we were improving each lap. So that shows progression, which is good. Right, let's get into checking out the Kawasaki to see if it can match it. Right guys, so here we are on the Kawasaki ZX-7RR. Now we're going to do the same as what we did on the R7. We're going to do 1 lap without making any adjustments, and then if we need to tweak it, we'll do a few tweaks and then a few more laps. Now we did 5 laps on the R7 and our fastest time was 1 minute and 10.050. That is what we've got to beat. But this bike has got lower stats, lower performance points, but I'm feeling confident after using this in a couple of events that this bike handles very, very well. Probably better than the R7, but I'm not going to judge it until I've done my lap to see if it can beat it. So we started off really well, try and change direction. That feels a lot smoother without making any adjustments. But like I said, if I need to make adjustments, I will. God, it felt a little bit unstable through there, like the R7 did. Get nice and tight, and let's see if we can put in a decent enough first lap, something to build on. And hopefully with a few adjustments we can better it, so like we did in the previous trial. Onto the curb there, keep that front wheel down. Oh god, almost went up again there. Really trying to keep it nice and smooth and not too bad through there. Let's try and open the throttle slowly, coming towards the end of the circuit. Now this feels pretty damn decent. I think it's going to be slightly slower than the fastest time that we did on the R7, but we will find out. Let's try and get a nice line into there. Flip it over, keep that front wheel down, and that's not too bad. So this is going to be a good start. I think it's going to be close. Oh my god, we've just set the same time, the fastest time that we did on the R7, and we've made no adjustments on our first lap. Can you believe it, guys? So this bike is capable of beating the R7 with lower stats. I cannot believe it. Look, the first lap. That is unbelievable. I didn't even think I was even really pushing it. I think we're going to make a few adjustments, and we're going to do a few more laps, and we're going to see if I can get faster than that. That is the test, just to show this bike is better. So here we go. Oh, God, 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 God. Went into that corner so quick then, but really trying to push it now. Now, we've done a couple of laps, and we're on this final lap to try and beat that time. We're definitely on the road to beating it. Try and hold it through there. Oh, the back end felt much better through there after making adjustments to the rebound on the back wheel. So that was awesome. Let's try and hold it through there, nice and tight. We've gone for a little bit of a stiffer suspension at the front as well, so we can get that front end in. It's nice, good control, and we're up on the time. So this feels like it's going to be our fastest lap. And nice and tight into there. That's pretty smooth. Hold it, hold it, hold it. It's feeling pretty good. This feels like it's going to be a good time. I cannot believe how much better this bike feels than the R7. Although this bike should be higher rated than the other one. It really should. That's the way I'm feeling at the moment. That's pretty damn smooth through there. Let's get to the finish line. Is it going to get me that faster time? And we just hit a 109.334. There you go, guys. It smashed that time that the R7 did. This bike is better on a time trial. Now, I did push them both the same number of laps, but this one came out on top, even though, like I said, the lower performance points, the lower stats, but this one was better. Right, we're going to get into a summary. I'm going to give you my overall opinion on both bikes, and then that will be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment. Let's get into the summary. So here we go. Right, guys, I'm just going to do a quick summary of both bikes, and then I'm going to give them a rating out of 10. Now, we did more events on the Kawasaki, so we had a bit more experience on the bike. But in that time trial, you could see the difference in both bikes, and the Kawasaki felt so much more under control, better in every area, even though the stats don't say that. but I'm going to give the Kawasaki an 8 out of 10. It felt solid. It was definitely a good 750 to choose. And I'm going to give the R7, although I think we should do some more events on it, but in that time trial, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It felt really awkward. It understeered. It just felt... It didn't feel as good as the Kawasaki. So that's my overall summary of both bikes. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more. Bye-bye, guys.